4 months ago, Dr. Mead challenged us to challenge ourselves, to look into our weaknesses and to see where our global business mindset was lacking. I decided I wanted to develop my global business savvy, passion for diversity, and diplomacy skills. Within Global Social Capital, diplomacy was one of the skills I decided to focus on because I felt this class would allow me to learn how to be a listener and negotiating with people internationally. Diplomacy is the ability to manage international relationships in an effective and respectful manner. This includes managing relationships with people who think differently and may not always agree with you. I felt diplomacy was a key skill I would need to start working on now in order to be successful in any future career. Especially in business, a person's diplomatic ability can be a deciding factor in their success over someone else's success. Having the skills to handle complicated or awkward situations can make or break your ability to hold your job. Following diplomacy, I saw this course as an opportunity to develop my passion for diversity within my global psychological capital. A passion for diversity contributes to one's global business capital because in an international workforce, diversity continues to increase daily. By having the ability to embrace that diversity, a businessman or woman will have more chances at success when asked to go abroad or cooperate with international coworkers. Lastly, I chose to focus on my global business savvy within my global intellectual capital throughout this course. Global business savvy consists of knowing the things you can't learn in a textbook in addition to the ones you can find in a textbook. Through this class and my field experiences, I hoped to discover the little things that can make big differences in the business place. These can also be considered the informal institutions such as norms, ethics, and values. I felt this was most important to me as even the textbook considered informal institutions to be more important than formal institutions at the end of the day. A few weeks after deciding these were the areas I hoped to improve on, I met Darlene, who little did I know would be an imperative influence in the development of my own global business capital. As Darlene and I started hanging out, we slowly began learning more and more about each other. Through our friendship, I discovered a lot about each particular skill that I had hoped to develop. Through different conversations about hot topic issues on campus, like the demands brought forth to the university and students' reactions to the 2016 election, I learned the importance of listening and diplomacy. As Darlene and I had different discussions, we took the time to listen to each other rather than just share our own opinions. Because this allowed me to really learn more about her own perspective, I realized the importance of diplomacy and international relationships. Given that Darlene is from Rwanda, she had a huge impact on my ability to further enhance my passion for diversity. I realized how this was enhancing as I found myself more and more interested in learning about Darlene's life in Rwanda as well as her opinion about life and culture here in the United States. Finally, though Darlene is not a business major, she did have some insight about business culture in Rwanda in regards to gender roles and tardiness. I discovered that people are very relaxed in Rwanda in regards to timeliness in arriving to meetings and interviews. She also shared with me that since 63% of the seats in Parliament are now filled by women, this has led to a transformation in culture in which women now have more roles in the workforce than they did a few years ago. Looking back upon the many times that Darlene and I hung out and shared stories and laughter, the most significant aspect for me is the friendship we developed that led to hour-long conversations at the Blue. I hope friendships like these continue to teach me about how to have a global perspective in regards to everything I do throughout my college career.